Hello, and today I'm looking at a car that's more of a curiosity than anything else. You might notice, hopefully, you might have noticed a improvement in audio quality because I did eventually decide to buy a mic for my recordings and stuff. It's a $20 thing. I found like a couple of YouTube reviews saying this is pretty good for the money, and I don't want to buy like $100 mic. Not willing to do that for YouTube, unfortunately. Maybe if I get super popular, I will, but it's not going to happen. And today we're looking at the an incredibly strange thing, but so I thought for my first audio test, which is more or less, I mean, I did test a couple of times. It seems to be working a lot better than just talking to a shitty, headphone microphone. But still, for my first actual video, I want to look at something I don't really care about. And this is the Hot Wheels Apptivity thing. If you don't know what Apptivity is, don't worry, I don't either. The Apptivity, from what I gather, is basically something that interacts on an iPad. Like here, you can race and play on your iPad. Basically, you have a physical thing to put in your hand that takes the place of your hand. So it's more interactive, some kind of BS like that. And you can see here, this is what the car is supposed to be like, and it's called Power Rev. And the interesting thing is, you can see on the back, there are a few other cars in this range. You can see Drift King, great fantasy car. You're So Fast is another fantasy car. Bone Shaker and Power Rev. Drift King, You're So Fast, and Bone Shaker are all actual Hot Wheels models. They're all fantasy models, but normally Hot Wheels does make this kind of models. This so-called Power Rev is not. It's a new model. But if you look at But if you look at the front, and especially if you look at how the front of this is drawn, you can see this is obviously supposed to be kind of like a Dodge Challenger, a 21st century newer generation of Dodge Challenger. And it's a pretty cool car, I think. It's just, at least as far as the drawing is concerned, at the very least. Because the real car is not that great. I wasn't expecting much, honestly. This is basically just a touchscreen finger replacement. And you can see, and you can hear outside the NYPD, it's doing something again. It's the city of New York. Always something's happening. This is all plastic, by the way. You can see the green. Oh, sorry about my dirty fingers. I was doing a little painting. I was fixing some Hot Wheels paint damage. Why does Hot Wheels have so many paint issues? I know it's a $1 car, but like companies like Matchbox does it so much better, and their cars are manufactured in the same place, and they basically cost the same. I don't get it. But all of this is plastic. And speaking of paint, it might be because it's painted on plastic, but the paint here is actually very well done. You can see the detailed stuff. Very well done. And I guess you can say this is kind of predecessor to the Hot Wheels ID, but not really. There's nothing electronic about this. Look, it's very light, very hollow. And you can put it on the touchscreen. When you put it down, the wheels are not touching the ground, so it doesn't really roll. It's not really a toy car. It's these things that are touching, and I'm gonna focus a little bit better. Thank you. Focus a little bit better. You see there's buttons down here, and I think I accidentally, okay. There's another button down here. And interestingly, I think this might act like a mouse, I guess. It's kind of like if you click it, this thing pops off. I did try to get the app, but it's probably been out of store for a long time. I think this is from, 2004? It's very early 2000s. So the app has been gone for a long time. But I thought this is an interesting, just a curiosity. I got it from a lot I bought from shopgoodwills.com. It's one of the things it came with. I put it on eBay for like a couple months, asking for like a few dollars. No one cares. And I was like, okay, I'm just gonna do it. It's a curious thing. I want to keep it. Oh, by the way, not rubber wheels, but kind of has almost rubbery quality to it. It's very interesting. It's almost real riders, but it's not. It's like something in between plastic and rubber. But anyway, I think this is an interesting curiosity. I'm going to put in my collection. It's not going to be like the greatest treasure of all time, but I think it's different enough to be somewhat interesting. So thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoyed my new mic and better audio quality.